Hello and welcome to this year's monitoring process for the Title II Part A program. This presentation will discuss the selected Title II Part A requirement. We will go over the documents that the school system will need in order to participate in the process, as well as the items that TEA staff will review. This presentation is intended solely to provide general information and guidance to Texas LEAs, ESCs, nonprofit subgrantees, and participating private schools receiving equitable services. The content in this presentation reflects the Texas Education Agency's current understanding of statute and applicable federal guidance. The content of this presentation is subject to change as a result of future guidance and/or other updates provided by federal agencies with regulatory oversight of these programs. This presentation does not constitute legal advice, and entities are, therefore, advised to seek legal counsel regarding the information and guidance provided in this presentation before acting upon the information provided. Recording use of artificial intelligence, the Texas Education Agency, TEA, does not permit third-party recording or use of artificial intelligence, AI, summary services during its grants-related trainings. Attendees of TEA's grants-related trainings may not use AI services, language models, applications, interfaces, or assistance to attend, review, or record the trainings. TEA further prohibits any person or entity from using the information included in its grants-related trainings to train AI technologies. Any attendees of TEA's grant-related trainings who violate this prohibition may be removed from the trainings and might be barred from attending future grants-related trainings. Documenting overall compliance for a program requirement may require several forms of documentation to be maintained locally and available upon request by TEA and/or an auditor. To ensure overall compliance with program requirements, LEAs should refer to the program guide and/or other program-related resources that reference the multiple forms of documentation required to be maintained locally. The documentation requested for submission during the validation process may not include all forms of documentation that are required to be maintained locally. Here we have the chosen program requirement for the upcoming monitoring process. The Title II Part A statute requires the Title II Part A activities carried out by the LEA be aligned with the challenging state academic standards. For this requirement, the LEA is required to submit documentation for Item 1.1 that will be a description of how the activities were aligned with the challenging state academic standards. To document compliance for this particular requirement, the LEA is asked to submit for one Title II Part A activity relevant pages of the most current district improvement plan that includes a statement that describes how the LEA ensured that the activities to be carried out on the Title II Part A were aligned with the challenging state academic standards. Please note that while we're requesting documentation for evidence of compliance with alignment with the challenging state academic standards requirement, the Texas Education Agency will also review whether the submitted documentation represents an allowable use of funds, including but not limited to compliance with applicable supplemental supplant requirements. Issues that may result in improvement in status for Item 1.1 include the following. Auditable documentation requested was not submitted. Documentation submitted does not show the activity to be aligned with the state academic standards. Documentation is for a state required activity and is, therefore, a supplant. The documentation required for Item 1.2 is relevant activity documentation for one Title II Part A funded activity referenced in 1.1. Activity documents for one Title II Part A activity such as payroll costs, contracted services, supplies and materials, or other operating costs that demonstrate such activity alignment with the state academic standards. See sample items referenced in the following chart. Related activity documents must be appropriate for the selected activity in Item 1.1. This chart shows examples of some possible Title II Part A activities by class object code and the corresponding activity-related documents. For example, if the activity falls under Object Code 16100 for payroll costs, such as extra duty pay for Title II Part A professional development, outside of the regular school day, we expect to see a related training certificate or extra duty pay request form or other documents related to the Title II Part A professional development that staff received. Issues that may result in an improvement needing status include added to what documentation requested was not submitted, documentation submitted does not align to the activity described in Item 1.1 documentation, documentation is for a state-required activity and is therefore as a plant. Now, let's go over the different resources and support. These resources are available for school systems to review prior to submitting documentation for selected P&B requirements. Please take advantage of these documents to ensure the district is informed of the overall process for program monitoring validations and all program-specific resources. In order to assist with the monitoring process, school systems may refer to the ESSA Program Monitoring Validations page, the guidance document, the training slides, and the training video. Furthermore, the school systems may reach out to the Education Service Center for support. These service centers provide complementary technical assistance and training available from each regional ESC. For a list of contacts for each regional center, please go to the TEA Title II Part A webpage. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If you have any questions, please reach out to the contact information listed.